so I figured they put the cheapest thing in them they could get.
Yeah. Hold on just a second.
Yeah,
Let me
okay.
go grab it.
Yeah, okay.
That's what it looks like.
Oh yeah. My wife wants to swap everything out in the house anyway, so.
That one is $33.99, and then it's $5 to key it to your key.
Pardon?
$33.99, and then $5 to key it to your key.
Okay, yeah, how about it? Yeah, sometimes my do-it-yourself gets more expensive than hiring somebody to do it. I bet you're familiar with that, aren't you?
Yeah, running this a couple of times.
Is that gonna do it for you?
I guess. Till my wife decides she already wants to change out the gold for something else.
Yeah. Maybe
The whole house.
Maybe you can use it on the storage room or something. 4211 is what it comes out to be.
Oh, boy.
But it's a better knob than the one you had anyway.
Yeah.
It when you turn the handle on the inside, it automatically unlocks for you, so you don't accidentally get locked out.
The one that we had, the latch thing wouldn't go back.
When you close the door, you have to
Yeah.
turn the knob to get it to switch
Yeah.
to flip over. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
pretty
tried to
pretty common on
give it a
those.
good coat of oil, but that didn't seem to help it. That's about the extent of my abilities.
Well, once it starts doing that, it's the latch is
It's a
broken.
throwaway.
Yeah. All right, so that's 43, 44, 45.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good weekend.
You have
Yeah.
any use for this one?
You can take it back to your store, wherever you got it from.
Well, I've already opened it and bent it up and everything.
Oh, no,
I'll trash it.
you can probably get it back in there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Could have swore we were going to do a credit card for that. Come on, come back open. Thank you. All right, what's up? Y'all, happy Saturday morning live, season 4, episode 22. Sorry about the delay, but you know how it goes. We have to deal with customers sometimes. Okay. That was a long one. You know, though, I have not, because that critical period of time when right before the stream starts and I'm making my cold drip. Hi, Kim, bye, Kim. And a customer comes in. So, you know, I have not done my cold. I gotta go do the. I'll be right back. Y'all are already assembled, right? Let's go ahead and bounce over to the main screen. Main screen. We're going to keep our fingers crossed today that the stream works okay. Forgot something. Once again, one of those I'm going to move the camera back over. One of those byproducts of getting interrupted right in the middle of what I was doing. Because most of our camera stuff is most of the live is yeah, up there today. No, that's the new one. It's about a new thing of wipes. And I put it right next to the other one. What's up, y'all? Oh, my chat. I need to bring my chat down. I gotta clear some room. Whew, I was not ready for today, was I? Was not ready at all for today. Let me go back up to the beginning of the comments so I can see if I missed anything. As always, Rune, Wes, and Night Owl in the house. Welcome back, Wes. Was not able to join past couple of weekends, but I'm assuming he can join today because he's here. As always, thanks for our mods in the house. And Dana Reed, as always, what's up? What's up with you? Robert Patton, what's going on? That's just a regular 18-wheeler in case y'all hear that noise in the background. Peter Fox, what's going on? Robert Lacey, how are you today? Retired Butcher Boy. Robert Patton, did I say hey to you? I did say hey to you, I think. Ken Nixon in the house. Overcast and foggy west coast of California. It is, we'll bounce up to this front cam. It is a pretty day out there while I'm reading this. Oh no, yeah, a little bit late too, but you know, that's what happens. I try my best if there's a customer in here to get things going regardless. Mr. Hooligan, Nate G, what's up? Dark Arts, good morning. If you're already gone, then hey and bye. Hey and bye. Dave A, what's up? Ronald, Alan Corson, Curto Lock and Key, what's going on with you? Willard 102. No, you can't see that other spot, can you? No, somebody just pulled up in the 15-minute spot. I don't know if they're gonna 15-minute it or not. Fonzie Cunningham, what's up? Newhouse, what's going on with you? Brian E, hey, what's up? Thank you for the heads up. Sound and stream are good. That's amazing. We're gonna keep our fingers crossed it stays that way. Congrats on being okay. So Night Owl's part of the tool board still. So good job. I knew you were on it. I don't know how long you've been on it for. I don't really keep up with that, but congrats on that for Night Owl being part of the board. What's up, Lynn H? How are you today? Hope you're doing well. John T, what's going on? Mr. T, another Mr. T. What's up, Jay? Locks New York in the house. Make sure and subscribe to his channel if y'all have not. I think everybody here probably has that. I'm stirring my Mississippi cold drip and I'm about to take a sip of it. Woo. Okay, Kim was here and gone. Yeah, grocery store battle. Yeah. She asked if I wanted ribs this weekend. I was like, yeah, I guess so. We are not going to put holes in walls today, y'all. Sorry to disappoint you, but Dusty Knuckles, what's going on? Actually, and yeah, I've had about 4. I see, this is exactly why I really hate people sometimes. I mean, come on. Just no excuse for that shit. And that's when I started putting out 2 spots, one 15-minute and one regular. Because of dumbasses like that. Probably gonna be gone for 2 hours too. Anyway. Secure Tech, what's going on? We got that cam up ready to go in case we see a puppy. Yeah, we're unlocking way less Schleg F-Series now that they changed that, huh? Kind of sucks. Rubber Band, what's going on? Alpha Centauri, how are you today? Dipping sauce on the ribs. You know, she makes some good ribs. Yeah, Gumby is all about that rug. Okay. I just side-eyeing the camera right there. So it kind of wiggle a little bit. Okay. Alright. And we're going to talk about antiques today because, as in my video, Happy Friday video yesterday, it is, I can see it's going to be one of those days. Graphite cannon. I have to use it somewhere other than in the shop. Hey Alexa. Hey Alexa. Frank is getting angry.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Hey Alexa. Frank is getting angry.
Okay, I've saved your note.
Be right back. Getting angry.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Yes, you do. I taught it to you. So frustrating. So frustrating. Frank is getting angry.
I don't know that one.
Frank is getting mad.
Okay, I've saved your note.
I give up. I've got notes. I don't even know how to access them. I guess just ask her for the notes, but I'm going to take a sip of my Mississippi Cold Drip, which you can purchase if you're in the continental United States from mscolddrip.com. Today I'm drinking Mississippi Turtle. As always, with a little dash of sweetened condensed milk to make it sweet and milky. And I have put my order in. I had to go get this at the store, which if you're in a lot of areas in the southeast anyway, you can find it in some stores. Got a strong presence in some of the Carolinas, and I think Tennessee and Louisiana, several other places. Anyway, or you can order it online. I suggest getting the big bottles and 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 or 20 of them. But I do have an order coming in. One day I sent a text, and he very rarely he answers me, so I always hope that he just remembers. Yeah, well, in one of those versions, I went straight from getting angry to just getting irritated about it. I could go up there and I just looked at my commands. Oh, I see why. Okay, hold on. Let me try it one more time. It may be my fault. Frank is not happy. There it is. We're in stage yellow, y'all, already. Thanks to these two bozos. But we're going to ignore all that and move up front, possibly, here in just a minute, to take a look at some of the antique stuff that I mentioned yesterday in that video. Of course, I didn't finish it. I'm at that phase, when you start a project and you're like, okay, here we go. I'm going to do this because it needs to be done, because all that stuff was in like 4 separate bins. Just from us getting a call and me just throwing stuff in a plastic bin. can mark plastic bins. We're gonna be discussing plastic bins today, so you might as well just mark plastic bins and get rid of it. So, we get a picture in the email, and I just throw a bunch of stuff in here from the back room. I have so many different knobs and stuff, and nowadays people should be able to get a picture to you somehow. So what I have been doing is I'll grab. Okay, we'll get. Okay, all right. Hey. Frank has left the building. Okay. Good job. Plastic band. So, and what happens is I'll just grab one and throw it in the truck. And I may have other stuff in the truck, but I just don't want to spend the time looking for it, and that builds this stuff up. So literally, I've taken out 200 pounds right now out of the van, between the weight of the drawer, between the knobs. If you didn't see that video, I'll kind of go over the same thing that I did the video yesterday on the Happy Friday thing. But you should be watching my video, so you should have already seen it. But we're going to talk about spindles. We're going to do the locksmithing phase of this whole waste of 2 hours of a Saturday. So it's not a waste for me. I'm here, so might as well do this, right? Is sort out the spindles, and I'm just gonna kind of do a little brief whatever education. This is an education channel, so we're gonna do a little education on spindles. If you don't know what a spindle is, it's the thing that connects two knobs together, and in the antique world is one of the things that wears out all the time. So I'm going to go over the myriad of spindles that I have in the truck, and also at the same time, I'm trying to decide though. Question mark over my head. Should we bring out who? I don't know. I don't think I need him. He's so heavy. We might have to retire him one day for him junior. Junior. Lighter weight version. So many spindles, I know. And then it's you kind of want to feel like you got to carry 2 or 3. And I'll go ahead and talk about this. I'm by far an antique expert, but I have worked on antiques because of the areas that we're in. Has a ton of them. I'm also fortunate enough to have taken over said antique, a lot of their inventory, and been able to save a lot of the inventory before they melted it all down. But there's so many different ones. We're eventually gonna have to melt it down because, literally, there's a case of knobs that just aren't needed. It's not stuff you can give away, and it's actually solid brass, so it does make you quite a bit of money when the brass is up. But I wouldn't think about doing that unless Bryce was really high. Unless Bryce was really high, then I might be pondering it. But I don't know about that otherwise. This is sorting plastic bins, virtual whiteboard ramp. Spindles. That's funny you mentioned that, James Randolph. Carry half a dozen. Well, okay. To be fair, I have over half a dozen of you. You'll see. But that's because I'll grab a few out of the bin and throw it in there. But the straight spindles, yeah, I'd say I probably have had in my truck right now, between the varying boxes, I would say probably 20 of each one. A little overkill. So we gotta thin that out today. Kevin K in the house. We got visiting the family. We are doing well. Hope you're doing well. Enjoy your time with your family. It's Memorial Day weekend. Happy Memorial Day to everybody who celebrates it. And the typical grill out, blah blah blah. So I did my backyard last weekend. I was, always groan about that on the weekends. I ended up doing it. I ended up doing my test all day Saturday or Sunday, like I said I was going to do. I got my CEU credits for the next day and uploaded and all that. So even though I hadn't gotten my updated license, that always takes 2 or 3 weeks to get in. Even though I hadn't gotten it, I still have I still got it, so I'm still legal in the Mississippi world of access control. Okay, good job. Let's see what goes on here. I know you ladies aren't coming in here, so go on back. Just don't hit anybody when you're doing it, all right? And so yeah, that got all taken care of, and then I started mowing the yard, and the freaking carburetor, y'all. Lawnmowers and carburetors are just, so irritating. So I got to stop on the way home tonight and get a filter, because I think what it is, I had it cleaned out, I had it working, but it wasn't running that great. So I'm going to have to take that dang carburetor back off, clean it again, and now I got a full tank of gas. So I do have to remind me, Jason, I've got to remember to modify a pair of vice grips for a hose clamp off. I was at home, or was it Harbor Freight the other day, and I almost bought that cheap. Well, it's not really cheap. No, honestly, it's like a $20 pair of actual hose clamp off. But they're big at Harbor Freight. And Harbor Freight's that place where you always go to buy crap that you only need once, if you need it then. And I was like, hey, perfect time to get that. But it was like $19 or $17. And the jaws were huge. And I'm talking about a lawnmower, you know, a half-inch diameter. And it just seemed like way overkill. And then I was like, I have a pair somewhere. I've got a pair of vice grips. So I need to dig through my stuff before I leave today and get those vice grips, and then just like wrap tape around them or something. Long nose vice grips, which are literally useless for pretty much everything. I don't use them, so I don't know where they are. Probably in one of my old tool bins. I'll dig one of those and make a real deal hose clamp. Split spindles and swivel spindles and sideways spindles and upside down spindles. Every which way. We are not doing holes in the wall. You switch to a battery powered. Now say the battery powered lawnmower thing. Now, if I end up having to buy a new mower because I can't keep this carburetor running, the ones we got were like what, the $200 Walmart specials, and they last like 4 to 8 seasons. And during those 4 to 8 seasons, the 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, like every year I have to do the carburetor thing. And I was supposed to order one on Amazon, if you can get them on Amazon. I was supposed to order one from somewhere at the beginning of the week so that I could just put it in and not worry about it again, because I'm tired of messing with this same carburetor. Anyway, I didn't, so I get to mess with this carburetor. And not your lawnmower bricked on a firmware update. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Do those mowers come automatically with that? I guess they do. I'm sure they are, because those are like $1,000 mowers, aren't they? Able lock. What's up? Needle nose vice grip with some electrical tape. I was gonna bump it up to Gorilla Tape. That stuff's really handy. You might pass that. I see it in like weirdo small grocery stores too. Gorilla Tape, just the wide like duct tape, but Gorilla brand. It's not for everything, which is why I have like 8 rolls of. Well, that's not exactly why I have 8 rolls. Never mind. You didn't hear that. But it is handy for some stuff, and using it to wrap up jaws on cars is one good reason. Like, feasibly, I could also take my Nip-X, right, and then take a bigger pair of vice grips and clamp my Nip-X that have the flat jaws. And then clamp the handle. Of course, that's probably going to mar up the handle, but. And then I could clamp, or I could. No, okay. I'm just going to wrap it with tape. What's up? Didn't buy. 35 long power cord on lawnmower has 35 splices on it. Oh. Harbor Freight has a cordless mower for $349. Yeah, I don't know about that. Electric. What is it, an electric one? A cordless mower. Yeah. Okay. So battery powered. Yeah, I still hadn't. I have thought real hard about trying out one of those Bauer drills, you know, just like one of their cordless drills or something. But every time I think about it, I'm like, no, I'm just not going to do that. That's ridiculous. See, I have a pretty big yard, and it also gets, well, right now it's pretty deep because I wasn't able to mow it last week. So, I've got a pretty big yard, area-wise, grass-wise. Like, the front yard especially is got a hill, and it's just, I'm not into the battery-powered mowers. Battery-powered, a lot of stuff's cool, but no, I'm not to the mower phase yet. Use a zip tie on the handles of your pliers wrench. Yeah, I can do that. I've been wanting to get one of those pull it tight. That's one thing I always forget to look for when I'm at Harbor Freight, but theirs are probably cheesy. But one of those things that like pulls it really super tight on the zip ties, that's one thing I've always wanted to get. But that's one of those things that you'll never find. Like it'll be somewhere odd, and you'll be like over there doing zip ties. You'll be like, I need my gun, and then it's just one zip tie. I don't need it that bad, So you got to buy 5, right? You can use Gorilla Tape instead of lug nuts on the car. Yeah, it's good to have a roll or two. And it surprisingly tears so easy. That's what always got me. 40-volt Ryobi at Orange for $2.99. Yeah, I've noticed, well, it's the season, but all the stores have their stuff out. Faux show. Let's get plugged in with the mobile mic. I got to go close that door or turn the AC off, one of the two. We do have new batteries for everything except for this guy, so I don't know if it's going to be okay. We'll see. Okay, we're going from the big mic to the other mic right. And we are on the mobile mic. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the settings. See what they're at right now. It's still saying 299%. We're going to monitor that for just a minute before I move up front. And take the mobile comment section with me. Come on, mobile comment section. We'll go glare at people that are pulling in up front. Should be good. Should be good on volume, but if I can get a mobile mic check before I'm working good. Thank you, Wes. Thank you, dang it, Wes. Let's see, gas mowers, the only way to do nothing wrong with gas, and you got to remember is if they put in the gas, it makes a problem. They put ethanol, and that's what causes the goo on the carburetor. Yeah, I can see that my carburetor, it's a plastic, cheap lawnmower, so it's a plastic, Holden 500cc. From Lowe's. It's even got the Lowe's stickers. Volume went down a little. Yeah, it always goes down. It's a different type of volume. Somewhat muffled. I don't know. It's going to be a little bit different. That's how it is. Make sure that the settings hold, because remember the settings do change sometimes. So let's go check them out real quick. 299%. No, we'll just readjust it just in case to about 289%. That way it changes it, and maybe it was just off a little bit. But it is definitely a different sound. Sounds good, somewhat muffled. Can you get Aspen fuel? Mobile mic doing okay. Audio okay. We're good. We're gonna have to be good. Turn your volume up a little bit, and I'll promise not to shoot anything or hit anything with a hammer before I warn you. I do need to grab my spindles thing before we go back there. So, yep, let's go here. Yep, yeah, I'm gonna actually go over here and put the mobile comment section up. Only bad thing about doing this on this side is if somebody comes in, I've got to remove everything around, especially the camera when it's in the way. So let me get this camera adjusted real quick. Oh. And also make sure the camera is not messing up. Kind of giving it a little workout right now to see what happens with it. Good, you good? And when I moved this last week, it actually kind of wobbled a little bit too. So hold on, let's move up front. Shoot. There we go. Oh, purple. I just have to remember to turn this around if we have a customer come in. All right, I'm gonna watch all that, make sure everything's okay. Because my mobile comment section is a little bit behind. What I have up here, you can't really see me in that corner, can you? Because it's so bright back there. What I have is kind of all the lighter weight knobs up here right now. These are going to be the ones that I use most of the time or go through more than the heavy brass ones. And I've decided to, this is a good example of a split spindle or half spindle. Some people call them split spindles because they're split. Some people call them half. Technically, they're probably half spindles. But this is what is going to probably be going into, at least a few of these anyway, is going to be going into the kit that I'm making, as I mentioned in that video. Along with the rosettes. Rosettes, that is not the name of a dance troupe. Okay, so this is one problem, is obviously we have an issue going on here. I went to pick up this box, and you can see what happened. So let me get some room. Let me change the camera around. That's just not working out. We can go ahead and pull some issues with the video feed by dropping this main cam. Let's move me back over here. Hey, okay, there we go. There's no point in having this up. You can't see me, so we're actually going to have to bounce over to this screen anyway. No comments in the learning section. This is the learning section of live, y'all, so no comments in the middle of it. Hey, Steam Gadget, what's up? You like my beard? Yeah, split, swivel. We've got swivels here. What in the heck did I do there? Wow, that's it's kind of unusual to see. I'm pretty sure when I put that in there, it was not like that. That's very weird. That's very, very weird. And there's a set of split spindles, half spindles. So yeah, that's one of the problems I was having. It's not a very good holder, is it? All right, we're gonna split, half, and then talk about kind of, there's a Corbin Russ one. All right. Basically what I'm doing right now is splitting everything into the groups of what style they are. So as I'm sorting them, just so you understand what I'm doing, in case you don't understand what I'm doing, hold on. Let me move the mobile comments over here. What I'm doing here is trying to reduce this and just showing y'all the number of spindles that are out there. Now there's a lot of duplicates in here, so at this exact time what I'm doing is splitting them into their different categories. Here we have swivel spindles or split spindles. There's two different types, 2 or 3 or 4 or 18 different types of these. Fully threaded, just like that. Or literally swivel only, where it doesn't come apart like that. Okay, that's literally just a swivel spindle. And of course you have the threaded and the non-threaded. You have different grooves. Some of them have just one groove here. A lot of them have a stop on them. You can see right there, this is a little projection in the metal. Now what that's for is so that it, when you screw this down and you put this in, this stops on the outside of the hub. We need to go grab a mortise lock, don't we? In case you don't, well, yeah, we can do a mortise lock and a latch. Mortise lock in Baldwin? Maybe. Maybe. Let's find a Baldwin mortise lock. I know I've got 1 or 6 somewhere around here. Oh, there's no latch there. Okay, let's find a mortise lock that has a latch in it. You want to get a blue one? We'll get blue. Blue body, Atkinson Hardware. So what that is a stop when you're putting it through the door, right? And goes through and what the heck, is this the right one for this? How come you're not, okay. That is actually pretty interesting. As you can see, there are different spindles. This one would not have worked because it was not going through. So this is actually for a whole different thing. But then this one, this one's got the stop right there. Basically what you do is screw it down tight, back it off a quarter turn, back it off basically until it's level right there, all right? And then go one more turn or 2. It really depends on what you, it kind of is a lock dependent thing, but I usually tighten it down, go straight, and then go one more. That way you have a 90-degree rotation. That's usually your bet. But so yeah, that went through and stops, and that's so that it doesn't tighten down and get off, because these have to be right. Oh, I see why. It's because that's not a split. This is for just a one piece. Otherwise, it would be 2 separate hubs in there, and each section controls one side of the hub to pull the latch back. Pretty easy to figure out, but just in case you didn't know, that's what that's about. Where am I going to put this? Same thing with these guys. Where's this? Hey. I think we have a bunk. It must be for a bigger, I wonder what that's for. That looks like a Baldwin to me, but sure isn't working on it. Most of this stuff is Baldwin, by the way, because we have a lot of Baldwin stuff. with the straight spindles, obviously straight spindles are straight spindles. They're just literally a stick, but there are a large number of them as well. Large number. Some of them have the pins. Sometimes those pinholes are threaded. These are not. This is direct for roll pins, like that is seen on this style of knob. It's a commercial, old Corbin, I believe. So that would be what that goes through. So if you got on a job or whatever and you didn't have that, you end up having to drill. Trust me, I've done that before. It's not fun. It is certainly doable. I've done it many times before when I didn't have that spindle with me. So, you know, and really the only thing out of these half spindles, which I did not bring the display up, so I will go grab it here in just a minute too. Wee yourself. Wee, look at that old fella. Ooh, it's getting beat up. Beat up. What's up, firefighter? What's the most popular spindles? The half spindles. The latches, yeah. The latches are one of the biggest things, and that's also, I didn't really even have plans to have a latch section in whatever drawer I'm going to be putting these in. So the point was I wanted to sort out the most important ones of these. The swivel spindles, and here, even on this one, you'll see this has a bigger hub. This is the same size. This one actually has a bigger hub. There are some mortise locks that have a bigger hub on one side than the other side. These are actually almost always, you can find them at hardware stores. They don't look like this. They're made out of this kind of metal. This is kind of one of the ones that you will see in a hardware store for the half spindle. But even though I've got a handful of them, aside from length, like this is obviously longer for a thick door. But this, what is that? I think they call that a 2.5, 2.25 half spindle. Most of your suppliers have it. If you have a lot of handle sets in the area, which I don't know if that one's a handle set. Yeah, I think it is a handle set. We'll bring it up in just a second. This one is still available. That's really all you need, even though the hoop of it does not hoop down like this guy does. So even though it's got two different hooks, it'll still work. Maybe not great, but it's certainly easier to get that than it is the bald one. Okay, let's rev up your engine a little bit more, bro. So these are a pair. That goes together for a thicker door. And you might say, well, always get the thicker one. If you're going to buy them, just always buy the thicker one. And you can't do that because look at the thread, right? It's another thing that you run into when you're replacing these guys is if you try to use a thicker one, this is actually made to go through the door. The knob won't be able to be screwed down all the way. So that's something you got to watch out for too. On the links is it's the same length, but when it's poking out here and you try to screw your knob and it won't screw past that because there's no threads. So you can't use them interchangeably for sure. We're gonna go grab, and then in here we've got just nothing but straight spindles. I think probably Night Owl would be the only one able to tell me what that super long one's for. Night Owl, maybe a handful of others would know, and actually I can show you because it's sitting right here to the side, but see how long that is. This is your average door spindle right here, the most common length. Most of the time it's on an interior door with these guys on it, so we take this off. So this is pretty much the biggie in the world of antiques. So there are different thread, I don't know if you can see that, we can see it. Thread lengths on different ones over here. If you try to go with like too long of a spindle, you may be able to cut it but you can't thread it past a certain amount. So this would be for like an actual 2 3/4 door, but almost always these guys are on, or not back up, 1 3/4 door for that medium. The short ones are for 1 3/8 doors, which is most commonly seen on these glass door guys that have a rosette, by the way, in case you don't know what the rosette is. That's what that is. And another thing is, yes, screws and set screws. We're not gonna excuse me, I'm not gonna go through each and every one of these and make you sit here and watch me organize this, because this is pretty tedious. I just wanted to go over them while I had them out. Here's another example. This is a Baldwin Images, I believe. It's got these 2 little divots in it in these lines. This was actually kind of marvelous that they did this, because on doorknobs that do not have the threaded spindle like this guy, kind of 2 types of doorknobs, slip on and screw on. Most of them are screw on, but this was one of the greatest things that I think they did. Was boop, you have a 1 3/4 door, and then boop, 1 3/8 door, and the set screw drops down into the corresponding hole. So basically you would take this, put it on if you had 1 3/4 door, tighten your set screw down there, slip it in, and it should measure out to go in correctly on the latch. Right, kind of right there in the middle. Is this split? I don't know. If this was a split style latch, which I don't think that this is passage. I do have a privacy over here. We can get it. Most of the time the privacy ones were split for the inside and outside. Privacy had those silly little boop in the rosette. It had a hole, for instance. This rosette, this hole would have been used for the post right there that goes into that, and you pull it or push it. I've actually got one of those on our guest bathroom. And then, of course, with rosettes and doorknobs, they don't all fit the same. That's one of the other little quirks about antiques that you'll run into, is you have, say, the Baldwin version was always like this. That was actually made to fit down in the Baldwin rosettes that look like this, and screw on. Original ones screwed on like so. In the estate world, come on, doop. So screw that onto the door with little short screws, and then tighten this down. And the Baldwin style of sitting in there was designed literally, you know. Obviously they made it work for their own brand. The problem you run into is when you have like a different style of rosette to the doorknob. So like these cheapy rosettes work well with the cheapy doorknobs because they've got that cutout matched up like it's supposed to be. When you try to use this and it wobbles everywhere, what happens is it makes that rosette get loose because it's only held in with short screws, because there's only about yay much wood between the doors. So the biggest other thing that you would probably need, you know, I know if you work on antiques or whatever in your area, you're going to run across this kind of stuff that's actually called a closet spindle, because on the inside you don't need a doorknob on some little short closets, and you can actually get away with doing this little guy. Literally, that's on the other side, and if you got locked in the closet, you could boop your way out. On the other side is the regular doorknob to open the door. In case you're wondering what that is, Corbin Russ one right there. Big, commonly seen. That's the adjustment. So that this commercial guy literally probably should not be in with the antiques, right? Probably at this time, while I'm doing all this, it would be wiser for me to go ahead and remove the commercial one. So what I'll do here is, while we're finishing up over here, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to go grab the display, and I think the display that I've got over there, oh, shut up, has a split spindle style, because it's one of the most common ones that starts giving you, ooh, I don't know what happened there. One of the most common ones that starts giving you trouble is this half spindle. Split. Split. Funny split. Look at that funny split right there. It's actually one side of a swivel, 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 split, 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 split. And I'll show you what these for. This is actually also used, two versions of that you might run across. Okay, well, God, I hated these. The point of that slit down the middle, this is for a Jado. They actually had pointed set screws. When you set screw through the side, the point jabs into there, and I hated those so much. They're also fatter. They don't go in. They don't go into normal stuff. Boop. Boop, look at that short little guy. That's for a super thin door right there. Then it's not cut. That's factory. It's actually pretty unusual to see a little fellow like that. So out of everything up here, you would never have guessed, but this little guy right here is probably one of the most rare little guys that was made. Not many doors come that thin, so there was not a big need for it. Commercial. Hey, commercial. All right, let's talk about these. I don't know. I still don't know what happened to that. We can dispose of that guy though, can't we? So I'm gonna go set these right here actually, and then pull some of these. This is all, I believe, all straight spindles. So what I'll probably likely end up doing is changing this kit into, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do here, y'all. I'm gonna ponder that after the live, because really this has to be done before Monday. I got to get this out of the way because I got to get these padlocks up that have been sitting here, and I still have a few more here. There's some of that oddball crap. Oddball crap. Okay, there's that guy. There's that guy. I'm going to take there's a Baldwin Images. That's actually part of the 53199 repair kit. There's an example of the screw. These are used on the old knobs like this, very commonly. I've got a video coming out one day about these guys. There's an interesting bit of trivia behind that, but the video that I want to do is going to be somewhat controversial, so it's not one of those videos I've been overly thrilled about making, but I feel like that information needs to get out there. Okay, this goes to this, doesn't it? Yeah, what are you doing separately? Oh, you know, these guys were a pain in the butt. Oh, focus! Split spindle with the divot. If we can find one with, there it is. Nope, we need the other side. The divot was pretty irritating as well. I don't guess I have another one with the other side. Oh, there it is. Well, we'll just pretend like that's the flat side. The divot went in like so, snapped together, and was actually kind of hard to deal with because you had to shove a screwdriver in there and pry them apart while it was attached. These were kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. So I'm going to throw this, and this away because that's automatically bad, right? You stay over there. Kind of a crazy amount of half spindles, I would definitely say. There's absolutely no reason why any of this should be rolling around in my vehicle, and it is, so you can see why I needed to do this. All right. That's what happens when you just keep adding and adding and adding over the years. All right, let me go around here and get the display. Jado latches were pretty horrible. I'm going to go back over the comments for just a minute, take a sip of my cold drip. Let's move back to this camera while I'm doing so. I'm going to go grab something back there, the display, and kind of show you how the split half spindles work. Pickup spindles. Say a game of pickup spindle. Purple glass doorknobs. Ooh. If they were real deal purple, if they were those that style of conical glass shaped ones and they were purple, then those were pretty valuable, yeah. Are pretty valuable. Going all the way back, use Gorilla Tape instead of spindles. I'd never try to rethread one of those spindles. Once it's worn down, it's worn down. You're really not a lot you can do with it. But like I mentioned, even if you never run across them, next time you go to the hardware store, if you have like a local hardware store, go look in those little pull-out racks. Every so often, those little pull-out boxes that smaller hardware stores have. If you look, the well-stocked ones sometimes have a door spindle section, and it's worth it. If you even have a few houses around, if you're a trading locksmith, it's worth it to have the half spindles definitely, and maybe a couple of the split ones. Now, again, that's kind of the crappier metal, but honestly, the ones from Elko and the catalogs from actual locksmith suppliers. Well, let's take a look. Y'all want to take a look with me? This is one of those things where you don't trust stock levels, because this kind of crap is not sold. They may have it in catalogs, but they're not going to be available because any number of reasons. You know, very rarely sold, very rarely used. Just switch it out. It's crap. Re-drill the hole and put a brand new lock in there. Blah, 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 blah. Which section of the book would those be in? Spindles. Whoa. This isn't a... How do you use this book? What manufacturer makes those, y'all? Is it Professional? Let me go down in the comments and see. I can't remember who makes those. And the Flake took them out of most of their catalogs too. Corbin levers, that spring, that little black plastic spring mechanism. I hated those things. I finally got rid of most of them on the hospital that I service over there. Progressive Hardware, thank you. I think that might be listed as other in the back of the book though. Yep. So, there we go. So, those are the ones that you can order. And honestly, that's what I was talking about. These have little caps on them. They come with double caps that just slip onto the end. And you literally, if you don't need it, you just take it off. So, you know, a couple of that one for sure, and a couple of just plain. Well, you know, you don't need. Well, do you need 20 threads per inch, 16 threads per inch? Even if they carried it, that's for Quincy and Sargent 1631. It's very interesting because see, nowadays I don't really pay attention to that. You know, it tells you Quincy. I work on a lot of antiques, and I have never seen a Quincy. Has anybody seen a Quincy? Do you have Quincy's in your area? I don't even know what a Quincy is. Quincy 16 and a half. Obviously they're something. Quincy. Oh, there's a whole nother page. You know, but like I said, they're not gonna have half those. What do they call them? Sectional spindles. Yeah, sectional spindles. 2 5/8 inches long right there. Definitely a good one to grab. And there's the Corbin Russ one. Yep. That's all still available. I'm sure you can get those still. It's a pretty decent selection, but I can guarantee you that if you try to order like 5 of everything, I can guarantee you that they're gonna have you'll get like 3 spindles in. Not just from that company, literally from any company. Always carry the CR. You know, you say that, but I deal with a lot of CR here because there's a couple of bigger companies, but I don't really ever see those broken a whole lot, you know? So I only carry like 1 or 2 of them because I don't really see them broken. I just don't. I don't know if it's a regional thing and you see more of them broken or what, but I'm more than likely to have to drill open a passage lever handle, tubular cylindrical lever handle than I am. Somebody just went down the middle of the road. I think there's gonna be a little road rage out there in a minute, y'all. I don't run across that many broken ones of those. I do keep them just in case, but you got to give it to Progressive that they still do make them all. In a mausoleum. So Jason, is this controversial video involving a drum of graphite and bad locks? I'm not allowed to do anything with graphite. I tell y'all what, I've never used so many paper towels in my life, y'all. Never used so many towels in my life. I've gone through 3 bottles of 409. I think I've got it mostly clean though. Up until I thought about it, up until I got to do my recycling, because all that stuff just dumped in there. Oh, and that really long spindle was for Baldwin rim locks, because it's got to go all the way through the door. I have them up there. I'll show you when we go back up there. We got to go finish. Quincy Adams Medical Examiner. Dr. Quinn. Okay, besides Quincy Adams, has anybody else heard of a Quincy? Never seen a Quincy? No, you neither, huh? That's weird. Dustin Knuckles, good aftermarket in New Orleans. Yeah, well, y'all have a lot of reclaim type places like we do here. I know y'all have several places that have, in addition to like H-Ralt and some of those other guys that have a huge stock of antique stuff. It's with those guys, you don't know what's for sale and what's not. You go in and you look and see all these big, beautiful railroad padlocks and like nothing's for sale. But I know they have a lot of reclaimed salvage places, because when I go down to my Old House Depot is what it's called. I quote it, but that's literally the name of it, Old House Depot. They have, if they don't have a particular mortise lock, he's like, well, call so-and-so in New Orleans. I was like, who's so-and-so? I've never heard of them. And I'm saying so-and-so because I can't remember the name of it. He's like, so-and-so, and they've got an architectural salvage place that apparently doesn't advertise or anything. It's just one of those white warehouses that you would never think what's going on in there. Van Dyke Restorers. They probably have, I send people to that all the time for stuff like that I don't have, or if I don't want to deal with it, honestly. But I ordered from them, I guess because I have such a already large inventory here. Yeah, that is that's not the greatest display, because that is not a handle set. I don't think I have a handle set on display. Most of those up there are images. But we can pretend with this guy. How about that? The only problem is it has this little peg sticking out, and I'm gonna have to get rid of that real quick. I'm gonna use my mini Nipex for this. because I don't want to set this peg down. Just out of sight, isn't it? Come down, come down, come down, come down. I don't know if this guy unscrews or pulls right up. It was fascinating, wasn't it? All right, we're going to move this up front. I'm going to take the handle off and I'm going to show you how to insert the split spindle, half spindle, split spindle. That's dirty. Let me grab a towel so I can wipe it down real quick. Don't park like that, dude. Just don't do it. I'm wiping it off. Hold on. I'm gonna move this. I'm a little bit concerned about this part. Hold on. We're gonna reshift the camera because I don't need it where it is over there. I'm gonna pull out this fella because that's what we can get now, right? Yep. That's what we can get, so that's what we're gonna experiment with. Oh, and then small parts. We gotta finish this off with small parts. Because the small parts are the most important parts, right? Right. Most important. What am I looking for? The main thing to deal with in American antique locks is your Allen wrench that I can't find because I think I covered it up here. So as soon as I find my Allen wrench, y'all, we're going to get started on it. Is this it? Nope, that's metric. It's important to have metric. It's important to Jason mod your Allen wrench. Just as important as it is to remember where you put your Allen wrench. There we go. Jason mod. Right there. Yep. Very important because, as you'll see, it's a prime example of that. Now, if we're talking about this setup with the lever right there, that is way out of camera frame, isn't it? Yep. Lever is not this. So we're going to pretend like we have a thumb thing. Thumb thing being this on the outside. All right. So imagine, if you will, that the display that we're working on, boom, is like this, right? Because this guy lifts up from the outside, it pushes something that's not in this mortise lock up, and on the inside is knob only. That's how it's activated from the outside. Boop, boop. So that pushes directly up from the bottom of the mortise lock, and I'll grab that mortise. So let's grab an actual mortise lock. I hope the camera didn't freeze. Yeah, I see. I got it. If that's you calling. Hey. Right there. Start over. Sorry. I got it. Phone. I got it. I am not a professional streamer, y'all. Because I was using the wrong camera, wasn't I? Let me find an actual working model of this. It's actually good because I had to find this anyway. All right, start over. At least the camera didn't freeze. You need a boot button. Sorry about that, y'all. But it's all right. All I was doing was moving one thing over and talking, so everything's still out there. What we're pretending like, before I got so rudely interrupted in my failure to stream correctly, was this guy. Boop. All right. This lifts this up from the outside. And this is where you would be using a half spindle. I had two right there. Once you break the tape. So what we're doing is we're pretending like we're using it on this. Because while I can show you here, it's not as good as actually having trim that you're dealing with. So it would be on the inside. We're going to pretend like on the outside is this, but it's actually not. So we'll go ahead and take the inside off with your 1/8 inch Allen wrench. And again, the Jason mod protects your wood. Now this one I believe is going to use slip-on. I believe it has a slip-on. It may be threaded. That would be unusual for a lever, but yeah, I guess it is. Old school. This is actually, what trim is this? Focus. This is a 6917 Focus trim. There's your washer in case you're wondering what little Mylar washers you see are. That's where that goes. So we'll go ahead and take this other side out. You can see that is a split swivel, whatever you want to call it, spindle to activate each side. But in the case of this guy, we would have it up just like that. Yep. Zoom in a little bit. And you want to take the angled side with the thread out, go in. Now if you look really close in that keyhole, it's at a, see how the square is? It's not square like that, it's actually like that. So hook, run it through until you can kind of feel it grab. And then take the other side, thread out, run it through while holding your display up or while holding your door. Even them out just like that, and then pull. You want those both pretty much even, like so. And go find a doorknob. I've got a doorknob. All my doorknobs are in there, so let's grab a doorknob from over here. Nope, not that one. We need a screw-on style. Let me go grab a screw-on style doorknob, because they're all in here. It's brilliant. We'll use this Baldwin guy right here. You know, I've always wanted, y'all are talking about my failure to stream correctly there. I've always wanted comments to be able to be, you know, through my earbud, so that I could like comment text, or not text. Well, I don't keep saying text. Comment voice to text technology. I know there's one application, but I never trusted it, honestly. So typically what I'll do is if you have enough room to hold this, you could use any number of things. Here's one good reason to have the Nip-X too, actually. Kind of think about it, you can use your baby Nip-X to do this. You're gonna boop it open some, boop, boop, to right about there. And if, as long as it's projecting enough, right, you can hold them together, because you don't want one side to thread more than the other. So take your knob. Now I'm having to be really careful because I'm balancing the display in my hand right now. So this is not ideal. If this was a steel door, or an actual door, it would be much easier to do. All right, so once you get started threading, this one could use some lubricant. The thread pitch may be a little bit off. 16 to 20 thread in this world is not that big of a deal, difference was. You just want to make sure, if for some reason it starts separating and you see one side moving, you definitely need to start over. Because what will happen is you'll screw it down, one side will go further out, and then it'll just be allowed to pull off. I don't know if we are going to be able to... Boop, boop, boop. I did not put the washer on, did I? No, I did not. It's okay. This kind of thing happens in the antique world. All right, so if I had that wave washer or that washer, it would take up that little bit of gap that's still there. And that's basically how you do it. Obviously I would have to, okay, so this one's set up for lever. It won't turn to the right. So tighten it down. A lot of times you got to kind of after you get it tight, after you tighten those two set screws back down. A lot of times I'll take it and I'll just force it up and down just like that. And that's how you replace a half spindle, y'all. Hold up, I want to see if something helps here. Usually this will help if you are having trouble with the knob. I have not ordered any Houdini. I've been out and actually had a customer. Dang it. I had a customer come in trying to buy some yesterday. I was like, I have not bought any more. I'm sorry. I'm going to be ordering from, I guess, International Key Supply. That'll be my first order. I still hadn't gotten any super chips in for that toy that. Oh, that's much easier. For that toy that Locksmith Yoke sent me. Thanks again for that. But I still hadn't gotten any super chips for it. So I've got a cart full of a case of Houdini from them. I was thinking about buying 2 cases, but I have a feeling I'm going to be ordering again from them pretty quick. So I just ordered 1 case for right now. Boop. There we go. That's how you do that. Once again, see how this was actually, I believe, on the outside, and it has the stop. That's typically where I'll put it. Outside, putting it on. Let's check and see. Yep, so we're going to tighten this down. 1, and then another quarter. I guess that would be a quarter turn, maybe, since there's 4 sides. And if you notice, I just noticed something, y'all. This one's on backwards. Because look at this. I noticed this just when I was doing it. That button is locking the inside. So you could get locked in. Watch this. Doop. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's right. Huh. Okay, I don't know why I thought it was wrong. Anyway, that's that. All right, let's move you out of the way. We'll take a quick look at the parts just to finish this off. Kind of go over those briefly because that's kind of the big part of this is parts, right? Short brass screws are kind of hard to find. Under 1/2 inch, number 6, number 8, flathead brass screws. Pretty difficult to source sometimes. You really don't want the comments continuously streaming in my ear? I mean, it'd be handy, but yeah, it'd probably be a little bit irritating too. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Definitely don't want that, huh? No, you can't have Houdini. Get your own dang Houdini. Oh yeah, I saw Dalp went live earlier. Litter picker talking about strange Australia man. Yeah, Dalp's funny on his feeds for sure. Got to watch this. People listening to be like, "What the heck's going on over there?" Got a bit of a lag on the camera. Y'all were talking about a shot caller to get my attention. That would be mean. That would be mean. Because, yeah, I would be continuously shocked the whole episode. Just for shits and giggles. Hey, let's watch Jason jerk. Rosettes. Screws. I mentioned those short screws earlier. These guys. They have to be short, y'all, because there's not much wood. That's one of the biggest things that I see is people trying to screw their rosette. No jokes. People trying to take a longer screw. What happens is that longer screw will bite into the mortise body. Instead of it, the wood's only this thick. You've got a rosette on the door. For instance, this guy. And then you try to use a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch is actually too long in most cases. All right, that's about a 1/2 inch screw. What happens always, one of the biggest things you'll see is, and with DIY repairs or whatever you want to call it, that screw will hit that and you'll see scratch marks all around this area from that. And actually on the older cast iron style mortise locks, yeah, literally you can break the cast iron with that tip of that screw trying to screw it in there. So very important to have less than 1/2 inch. I'm talking like 1/4 inch, maybe 3/8 if you can get away with it. But you only have about that much wood that you're dealing with. And a lot of times when you take this off, you'll see the rosette of holes. Very common for me to take one off and move it a little bit. Move it a little bit. Okay, right. Okay, this doesn't have a hole, but this does. So let me move it back this way. And eventually you have, there's not a lot you can do about it. There is one thing that I have discovered. One little trick that I've never talked about, and I should save this for a separate video, but I don't have any in here. Let's just say those little flat plates that are washers that have a screw thread. What do you call those things? Use a machine screw, but they're just literally a washer, a rectangular washer. It has a hole in it that's kind of split and it's got a thread. So that you can actually sometimes take your mortise body out, put that in there, hold it, tighten your rosette down with a machine screw instead of a wood screw, and that flat plate will compress. That's a little trick. I'll do a video on that one day. Okay, anybody know what this is for? We've talked about this in videos. This is something you very rarely see. If you've got a thumb turn on the inside of the door, this is a Yoke Equalizer. You take that, and you turn it around, and what happens is when you tighten this guy down, if you didn't have that to equalize this yoke, or whatever you want to call this damn thing, see how it's going down. And once it's tight on that, it should be tight on the cylinder. Well, if you didn't have this here, like in this case, let's pretend like that's just the cylinder, it's putting more pressure as you try to screw it down, and it's kind of warping it just a little bit. That is this mechanism right here. This is for a super short lock, obviously, but what's happening is it's pressing down on one side and there's nothing on the other side to keep it. So while not overly necessary, it's good for the health of this, which comes in different sizes and different lengths. I think, I don't know which one this one is, but the next biggest thing that you're going to run across is stripped out ones of these in mortise locks. I always, whenever I look at a mortise lock and I say, we get a call, one of the bigger calls that you're going to get is, my cylinder's loose or my key's not turning, my whole cylinder's turning, you always have to worry about this being stripped out. Not just a loose screw. Literally, this guy could be stripped out, which guess what? It means you have to take apart the whole dang mortise lock to fix it. Again, various boxes. Thumb turns are kind of important. These guys go bad, so I kind of keep a variety of different colors of thumb turns. Mounting plate's pretty important. And then y'all remember these little guys? These are like, if you've ever seen one, little bitty, just a thumb turn deadbolt only with a star-shaped doodad. Different washers, different interior. These are what the thumb turn activates. Not that thumb turn. This kind of thumb turn. Boop, boop, boop. This acts much the same as this guy does, except you got to put it from the inside, and that means you got to take the mortise lock apart. If this ever comes loose, that's another thing you'll find is the screw is let loose on that, and you take the outside trim off, and this guy's in there where that is, but it had let go and it had fallen down into the body. Sometimes you can get away with pushing it back in. I'm pushing it through here, but it would be on the inside pushing to the out. That goes just like that. So those are actually put in from the inside. You do have to take them apart when you run across that issue. Again, short screws, pretty imperative, and a whole bunch of different sizes of, yes, what you call those? Grub screws, Allen screws. I think there's one more name of them. Grub or Allen or set screws. Pretty important. Pretty much everything else here is really specialty. The caps. We often find caps missing, so I've got a few caps there. And hinge screws. I don't really need those, but it is what it is. And the Baldwin swinging trim. I actually pull off these every so often. We have a lot of Baldwin in our area. This is the trim for fancy rim locks most of the time, but I've seen them on mortise locks as well. And this gets ripped off or is messed up in some way. And by having these with me when I'm rekeying Baldwin and I notice somebody's is missing, I can be like, hey, yo, 50 bucks, 50 bucks. Anyway, that's it. That's it on our antique lesson. I don't know if I missed anything. Let me know in the comments section. Otherwise, that's it for that lesson. Here, I did learn you something, maybe. I don't know. Did I learn anybody anything? I hope so. Because we are education channel around here. Now you know what to do if you run across a half spindle, split spindle, split half spindle. But I do enjoy being able to do that because they're like, yeah, my thingy broke off a long time ago. I'll be like, I have a new thingy. Would you like to buy my thingy for 50 bucks? Those things are like probably $100 now, honestly. The retail price. You can say, you know, you can get one on Amazon for 80 bucks, but I got one here for 50, 60. That's just because I have them. $12.37. Well, that's pretty good. Pretty good little thing. Yeah, and the only thing that I don't have here out of that whole kit is my screw bin. I've got a whole separate screw bin in the truck. I've got one area that's got two of those two-tier used fishing things. I got them at a fishing place, but it's like a two-tier Plano. One of them is for like sheet metal stuff, and the other is literally nothing but brass and antique brass and different color brass type wood screws. And I always end up having to go to the truck to filter through that stupid thing. The ideal case, right, would be something. Here's my problem. Hold on. I'll show you. I'll show you the problem. Hold on. One more time. Let's go back over here for a minute. I gotta show you one other thing. And that's kind of the issue with like building an actual kit that I want to have to be able to carry it in is, let's get you out of the way. Nip-X can go back in my pocket. Come on down here, down here. Oh, y'all haven't seen this. Let me show you this real quick, and then we'll go. We'll go on here. And actually, I carry a whole mortise lock, so I'm keeping that out. I'm keeping that out. So what I'm going to end up doing, y'all, with my particular issue here is, as in that video yesterday, egg knobs. I need to find one more brass with the slip-on. Here's some mounts that you run across. Different fancier knobs. These are all the brass heavy. Everything in here is the brass heavy-duty stuff except for these two cheapy kits. Different size rosettes because, again, if I need to cover damage, it's good to be able to step it up. Say they have this. If I can fit this and cover the existing damage, that would be better. But of course, they still use the same little screw plate. So as far as being able to alleviate that issue, that's kind of not great. But this does help to cover up damage sometimes. When you're trying to refit old stuff with stuff that you have, that's kind of where I'm at. Like if I run across an antique Yale or an antique Corbin Russ one, I'm basically trying to substitute in Baldwin stuff just because I have access. I have a large quantity of that Baldwin stuff. But the problem is we have this kit. I'm not going to use this one because this is a Harbor Freight, and I don't trust it being secure enough not to break. Once I put that in there, that's going to be a valuable amount. Monetarily, parts-wise, that's going to be a pretty valuable kit. So I'm actually going to go buy one of those Plano kind that has the weather seal around it. Kind of like this one. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Where it's got the little rubber weather seal. They seal a lot better. But the problem is if I take this guy and use it as my carry-in kit, even with these little separators, that's really not going to let me sort out that number of parts. I think the ideal kit, right, would be something in this range that's a little bit deeper, that has the capability maybe of somehow having a organizer like this. Okay, think with me here, y'all, because we're going to start a plastic organizer factory one day. We're going to have Lock Force organizers, by dang it. A little bit bigger, that's capable of both having all these trays, but somehow being able to snap in on top of those trays. Let me get a different one. I don't want to dump this, but let's go this guy. For instance, right? And even we'll use one of these things that Gumby sent me. Having the drawers, but then having this that fits perfectly down in there, and then maybe like a couple more. I know you're thinking just take this, right? But I'm not going to have enough room in just this guy. Even if I bought a pack out style, this bigger and deep and way more expensive, but even with the existing organizer spots, they're not as good as this 36 count. You know, if I wanted to use this guy, I have 36 additional spots. It would be great to have an organizer. Don't you agree? I think so. Where you still have what's left in there, but this can still snap in, and you have to use it to seal. Like it would seal. Obviously, this has to seal, and that's another thing about these stupid containers. Is they just don't seal. Let's go get Lock Force really does need to make we do need a Lock Force organizer bin. I'm gonna teach them a lesson. For instance, I got these guys yesterday. Excuse me. And I just dumped them on the ground because Jason didn't close the lid. Did I break it? I didn't break it. All right, we're back on this, y'all. All right, The only reason I bought these, right, is because they are narrower. If you remember, my original complaint was they were just kind of too big for my use. For what I needed, they were just... Did y'all see that? Oh, no, you didn't see it. Camera's just out of range. No, don't warn Kim. We don't know what you're talking about. All right, got sunrise marked. Again, I got these because they're narrower. They have a much better shot of being used by me. I'm not ever going to worry about locking them, but my biggest complaint was just how kind of bulky they were, how I thought. I know there's some fanboys of these, and I know there's some of y'all out there that are, you know, have impressive collections of these. Some of you spent your own money on them. Some of them are furnished to you, whatever the case may be. And you think they're all the shit. Well, that's fine, and I can see because they're pretty heavy duty. I really like how they snap together, but those big ones just weren't for me. And then I consider, you know, you have to really value what you're putting in there. What I find funny is when I see stuff in there that's not really like, I can't see the point of putting $10 worth of retail product in. That would be rare, but you know what I mean? It's like, if the value of the thing doesn't even equal the cost of the case that it's riding in, which again is not the point. You can make an argument about pins and the pin kit, but the thing that gets me about these, right, is the inability to not have to use all of the chambers simply because of how they're cut out and not being able to move them around. I would love to be able to use this like that. All right, maybe, and it stay in there. Of course, you could tape it down, I guess, you know, double-sided tape. I've seen some creative people using like Kaizen foam. The foam thing isn't really for me because I'm going to tear up. Every time I've done foam is great if you're never using the stuff. If you're literally only going to get it once a year and you're just wanting the seal, you know, that's another good thing about this. It's a good seal. So if you want to protect something long term and not use it, and it's valuable, these may be for you. But if you took all these out and put foam in them, you still have the issue of this uneven cap. Not being able to rearrange stuff because this center hits. I mean, you could cut it out. That just irritates me. And it's true with other ones, you know. You're like Jason, Craftsman VersaStack, same way. That's why we need a lock force. We need our own organizer system, I think. I do like, I'm gonna steal this. My Chinese company that is making them is gonna hack that idea for sure. And then this fatter guy. I've seen some people use foam and put like, or not even use foam, but just take all the drawers out and just use it as a holder, which is kind of what I intended to do with this one. I don't know. I'm gonna find a use for them. Rivet kit was what I was thinking. I was thinking I'm gonna use it for a rivet kit because right now I've got them in this bag and it's all just like, you know, these bags are great, but you got the rivet gun, you've got a small case here. Yeah, I've got another small case. I've got some tins. I have a threaded rivet doodad. your hole checker, bags and bags of various rivets that are all falling apart. And that's why I was thinking maybe I could get this guy, right, and use the organizer, because that thin organizer has separators. So I was thinking I use this guy for the actual rivets, take out those drawers, and just fill it up with crap, and then have them snap together like that. What you think? That'd be a good rivet solution? Still kind of, it's you know, it's really, if you think about it, other than it being hard, it really is kind of taking up only a little bit more room. So that's what I bought those for. I'm gonna see if that'll work. Who knows? Who knows? It wasn't on sale either. Somebody was asking me if it was on sale, but they don't. I think there's only one pack out thing, and it's usually the whole dozer kits. And in the locksmith world, you literally don't need an inch in anything over 2 1/8 inch hole saw. You don't need. I could have gone my entire. Have I ever needed a 2 1/2 inch hole saw? No, we're not contractors. We don't drill any. It's almost dangerous to have a 2 1/2 inch or 2 1/4 inch, whatever. It's almost dangerous to have that in your bin. If you're not paying attention, you grab a hole saw and you drill a 2 1/4 instead of a 2 1/8, it would be bad. So pop rivets are not metric. No, they're sized accordingly. Also, on the topic of rivets, countersunk head rivets will change your life, people. That's all I gotta say. Countersunk head rivets exist, and they will change your life as an installer. It's still good to have the regular rivets, because sometimes you don't need it, but when you need countersunk head rivets, they will change your life. And you can get them at your various rivet eBay suppliers. What are you going to do with your 12-inch hole saw? Ah! Yeah, it's just dangerous to have anything over 2 1/8 and unnecessary. You know, you're like, you can run any wire. If you got to drill holes, if I had to drill a hole in there, a big hole to get something, then nothing's going to be over 2 1/8 that I would need to run a hole through a 2x4 for. There's literally no reason for any locksmith to own over 2 1/8 inch hole saw. I can't tell you the number of holes that we have back there that are 2 1/8 inch in table legs and such that are all 2 1/8 inch or 1 inch. Just saying. What do you use rivets for? Mounting things to steel. I used 4 just the other day, for instance, and I don't have a picture of it, but sliding glass door, right? The little hook bolt, right, goes into the frame, right? Okay, aluminum frame. This is not the mortise kind. This is the kind that sits on the inside of the door, built into the actual pull handle. It's got the flip-up bolt, just like the mortise kind, but it's actually just on the inside of the door. The door closes and it hooks into the frame. Where that frame is, where that hook goes up into the frame had torn out, of course. Just yank, boop, breaks. So I took you know the little spacers for narrow style doors where you have, it's a square piece of steel, stainless steel with 4 holes in it. They're spacers for the upper header strike. There's a strike that comes down. Sometimes you need to space it off. So Jackson, Doormatic, places like that, send them with spacers. I'm going to go open this door again because there's some people that are, I believe, violating the 15-minute rule, and now we got lunch people coming in trying to violate me. Hate those violators. So anyway, that I moved, and it had like ridged aluminum. It wasn't flat, but I marked it and pop riveted 4 pop rivets in there. Worked great. Just, you know, so anything. You use everything. You use them for everything. Couldn't use a snap bridge. No, not in the frame. Literally, you're just having to replace metal that's like broken out. Like there's no metal there. I had to put metal there, and a snap bridge. You're talking about like the HKL things for narrow style or like commercial steel door? No. This is mounted right up against a jam wood. It's the frame attached right to the wood, so I could either A, have used really long screws, gone through them, and hope that I hit the wood frame behind it, or just pop root it in with, I think I used the, not even, 3/32 is my most common rivet for just general application. But I do use the smaller sizes too, 1/8 inch. So yeah. Use rivets for everything. And somebody was like, you need to buy that 12-volt rivet gun from Milwaukee. Yeah, that's an expensive toy, you know? I do a lot of riveting, especially when I buy crappy Nakatomi 3 shelves. I do a lot of riveting, but I don't necessarily want to spend $300, $200 on a specific tool for them. Yeah, okay, that's what I was wondering, if you meant HKL snap-in bridges, because that was confusing me. Yeah, that wouldn't work for that. You know, there's nothing, it doesn't have enough room for anything like that. But rivets are great for everything. It's putting on, everybody's gonna be like, oh, putting replacing where on steel doors where the holes are walled out. Putting in, I know it's kind of ridiculous to put in strike plates on metal frames, but it's great for that when you have enough of a gap to do it. Still ridiculous to do, as with cup strikes. Cup strikes are ridiculous in my opinion. Worst, probably one of the worst ridiculous things ever. Does nothing but cause problems. Wouldn't even consider using them. So no, in none of my metal frame hollow door videos will you ever see me put in cup strikes. Sorry to break it to you, but I don't do that. I would have to have a use. I would have to know, like if I bought, I don't know, I'm not going to buy another one of those style, but if I knew I had to do a lot of riveting, maybe. But build up your muscles, just like using a hand screwdriver, you know? I don't use a drill to do everything. Oh, pop gun rivet setup is the most important, and you definitely need rivets. Go to Harbor Freight. Those are Harbor Freight rivet guns. Get you the kit. Comes with all the smaller sizes. And then they have a new one that I'm going to get. I've got a 1/4 inch. That only goes up to 3/32. But they have a new 1/4 inch by Bauer, I think, or one of the new cooler brands. It's shorter, and it's the 1/4 inch. Rivet nut setter. I haven't used that one. That's a Harbor Freight rivet nut setter. You know, you could go to an actual store and buy like a good pop rivet gun, but I've killed good pop rivet guns as equally as I've killed cheapy Harbor Freight kit guns. There's no difference. I mean, some people might say there is. Some of them have like require less force, but like I said, build up your muscles. It's a good workout. It's part of the locksmithing workout regime is when you have to pop rivet. So yeah, you can find a lot of, if you really come up on it, you can find a lot of uses, but I would highly recommend countersunk head rivets too. They're fairly expensive, but definitely worth it when you need them. Yeah, if you were on an assembly line doing stuff with rivets, yeah. But every week you might hear I'd say I usually whoop out my rivet gun once a week, at least once a week. And that's not conducive to buying a $200 powered tool. It'd be cool, but I'm fine with a pop rivet gun. Strongly prefer okay, so of course Peter has an excellent addition to that. Marson HP2. So I've never heard of that brand, HP2, Marson HP2. Only about $30, and you can get replacement parts for them. Okay, I'm going to Google that, Marson HP2. Has it got like less force required? But still, it's better to go to Harbor Freight and buy that cheap kit, and for what is it, like $9 or something? Totally worth that. Get the rivets from, those rivets suck. I will say though, don't trust those rivets that come with that. Go to Harbor Freight, get the rivet gun, keep those rivets for when you need the smaller sizes, but definitely get different, better branded 3/32 rivets. Because not all rivets are created equal. All rivet guns to me is equal, because I kill them just as equally. I've bought the better ones from Home Depot or Lowe's, if you can call them better than what Harbor Freight is better technically. They've died just as equally. Almost always the pop rivet itself is cheap, and you go and it tries to pop and it jams in the head. Nothing you do can get it out, and you're just like, I'm out of here. They have a cheap pop rivet tool to put in a normal drill. Got a Milwaukee tool rivet gun. I mean, if you have, like I said, if you're going to be using it a lot, definitely go for the electric or the battery one. Yeah, like you're saying there, Peter. The pop rivets, I think, what is it, Arrow that you can get for the most part at Home Depot? Is it the Arrow? I think it's the Arrow brand. They're just barely adequate, I'll say. They're barely adequate. If you're going to go buy those 330, you can't find countersunk rivets on the shelf at Home Depot or Lowe's, by the way. You have to order them through eBay or through like McMaster Car or somebody like that. You know, the Home Depot buying of the rivets is also just like one of those things where if you're not going to use them a lot, okay, you can go ahead and get those. That's fine. But definitely looking at 3/32 rivets in, what, 5/16 and, no, not 5/16, 1/4 inch length, and then maybe a little bit shorter, and then maybe a 5/16, because sometimes when you're fastening, what is it, 20, say 18 gauge or 20 gauge frame, what are they, 18 gauge frames, which is about yay thick. Then you have a strike plate. Let's say you're putting, for some odd reason, putting a strike plate on top of it. It's yay thick. And then your compression, sometimes you do need a little bit longer base of the rivet. Top rivet everything. They're actually, once you start thinking, hey, why not screw this together when I can just pop rivet it together? And people are like, well, some of these actual locksmiths out there, y'all, will flip their shit if you say, I'm going to pop rivet this latch into the frame because the holes are stripped out. There's nothing wrong with it. If you have half a brain, they're like, oh my God, it's permanent. Pop rivets are so easy to drill out. It's ridiculous. You just zip and you're done. It takes half a second to go back and get a drill, unless you're a long ways from your drill. It's, you know, maybe a twinge of irritation if you have to walk back and get your drill, but if I walked up to a latch and I saw it pop riveted in, number one, I don't go up to pop riveted in latches and see them loose or broken, because literally they stay there. I've never had to fix a latch that I've riveted in, and I've been riveting latches indoors for years. I've never had to go back and fix. Somebody may have. Maybe I just didn't get the call. But I've replaced a lot of latches that had stripped out holes where I just drilled it out, popped a 3/32 rivet in, and went on my way. I've never had to go back because that rivet got loose. We'll just put it that way. So obviously it works, because I've been doing this for a little bit. Sometimes the pop rivet break off head. I've never had one break off. I've never been to one that was loose and or broken off. Never seen one that I did anyway. Always a crybaby in every bunch. So you want to? I'll show you the pop rivet. Hold on. Since we're talking about pop rivets, I'll go ahead and show you the. it. We'll take this for an example. Pop rivet, cheap, Harbor Freight. This one I've had for probably a couple of years. What happens is it jams up. It jams up, no doubt about it. This is from, in case you're wondering about this, Albany County Fasteners. Got them through, I think, eBay. Albany County Fasteners. These are 3/16. I said 3/32, didn't I? I've been saying 3/32, and I meant 3/16. So everything I said before, when I said 3/32, I meant 3/16. My bad. By 3/8. These are a little long, honestly, but they are CS, countersunk. Aluminum 6C, 3/16 by 3/8. Rivet number 192. Albany County, is that going to be a New York place? In Albany County in New York? So the difference between that and this, so here I've got my smaller ones. Here I've got my 3/16. So this is an example of just a standard rivet that you go buy at Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever. Here is the countersunk head. Change your life, people. And I do charge more for this. You can see the one on the bottom is flat. It's countersunk head. Once we pop that into this guy, always wear safety glasses. We're just going to rivet these guys together, and I'll show you the difference. So if you're on a tight door and you have to pop this guy together, this is the round head, okay? And again, these are a little long, but actually these are quality ones, and even though it's long, it still does kind of suck them together real well. Boop, boop, boop. Now I'm kind of getting old and feeble, so give me just a minute. I've actually had problems with my arm. If y'all saw that Harbor Freight video, I posted a comment on that because it looked fake because it was fake. Like literally, I tripped. I was forcing myself to trip on purpose, but I ended up tripping, for real. And that's why when I landed, I landed on my elbow, which has been bothering me for the past 2 weeks. So in a stupid YouTube stunt, of course, in a stupid YouTube stunt for the video, I hurt my arm. Stupid. All right. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. I screwed it up. You can really screw up your riveting here. You do have to whack it sometimes. That's what I just did. I just whacked it. Okay, so here's one thing that you run off. Never, just a little trick for those of you who are riveting something. This is actually really messily done because I'm not doing it up against something. Before you tighten this guy down, always have a stabilizer rivet in the other hole. Because if you tighten this down right and you rivet it together and it's off, your holes are out of line, and any type of motion where you try to straighten it up is going to cause the rivet to be just a little bit looser than it should be. And again, we're doing this in midair, so this isn't the prime way to rivet stuff. All right, so what this is doing is it's holding it still. Oh God, I can't believe I messed up my arm. So rivet, and what that did was that rivet in the bottom was holding it in. Now see, we have it sticking out. Let's go ahead and do this one, and you'll see what I mean. Look at that, that's beautiful. I mean, it's not great, right? It's not great, but it's way better than that. If you're on a tight door, which is better, do you think? Yes, the flathead. And again, if you'll notice, it was much longer. That's because that's a quality rivet. I'm probably, next time I order from these guys, I'm probably going to actually order a bunch more because they do. I have not had any of theirs cause any issues in any of my guns. So really, it's all about that. That's not the best, but it's better than that, you know. So anyway, that's what a rivet does. In case you didn't know, there we go. We riveted. It's very riveting. I was pointing that you have to be very careful because it'll zoom out this way, and I had it like so, right? So that's your kind of your safe zone because it's going to shoot out there. It's going to fly off in this general direction. That's why I didn't wear my safety glasses, and you notice I always kind of held it away, so I was okay. I was trying to be without going and getting my safety glasses all the way over there. So yeah, you just drill it. Nope. Just take that same 3/16. We had to drill a 3/16 hole for that. Grab that 3/16 bit and zoop, and it's aluminum. It drills right through it. No problem. But these guys, and typically what happens is when you're using those cheap ones and you're cranking down, you notice I had to keep tapping it. That's because it's steadily sucking it through here. And if you have a cheap one where this gets really jammed up, or the teeth, there's little teeth in there that grab it and are pulling it back. You can actually see the marks from the teeth where it pulls through, and it literally gets jammed right in there. And I've had that do that with good guns, bad guns. I've tried like hammer. Sometimes you can open it and like hammer a rod through to get it to clear, but almost always it screws up the gun too. You know, $8 or $9, no big deal. And actually, before you go to Harbor Freight, since you don't have one, why don't you wait a minute? Because, Mr. Skinner, you've got a package going out. I'm waiting on one other thing to come in. So, I've got. Remember, I failed to do it, but I had a whole bunch. I've got a Harbor Freight one for you. I'm gonna put it in your package. So, there's one thing you know. Don't go buy one because I'm sending you a cheap kit. All yours. Let me make sure before I say that. Hold on. I have a bunch of tools left over from where I was going to do a big tool giveaway, but honestly, I didn't want to give everything to one person. So, yeah, if you don't have one, I'm going to actually throw this thing in your kit because I figured you had one. But if you don't have one, then since I've got something coming to you, there you go. Merry early Christmas. I'm still, you know. There you go. Part of the issue with the countersunk is the difference in countersunk angles for. When I was searching for countersunk angles, I couldn't find. There was only one. There's only one. There's different diameters, of course, but there's only one a countersunk head. I don't think they make angle. They might. I mean, for all I know, they might. I don't know. I know you're probably more familiar with the McMaster Car website, who also probably sells rivets. And this company may have. I mean, they may have different ones. I have to check into that. Yeah, there you go. You don't have to go buy one. And actually, that is going out Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever we can go by UPS. So, yeah, you can have this guy. It's just been sitting back there for a year and a half now, waiting to go to somebody. You're a perfect candidate. Get you play with one. You can break it and then go buy a better one. How about that? Just watch your eyes. Don't let it pop you in the eyes. What's that other thing with pop rivets? That's really it. They can eject sometimes quite forcefully. And 1/4 inch rivets, use a whole different guy. I have the old blue handle from Harbor Freight, but I'm going to go try their new one. I'm definitely going to. Has anybody got one of those yet that has a Harbor Freight? The new 1/4 inch. They're only like that long. They're like short little fat handles. You'll find something. Don't buy their rivets. You can keep those rivets, but like literally there's no use for some of these. You got like these little 3/32 guys, these little tiny guys down here. What I used on the, I used the 5/32 on the, that what I was telling you about earlier. But like 1/8 inch and 3/32, that's more like hobby style. You're very rarely going to use those. Well, he sent me all that retail stuff, so it's part of his trade back. Part of his trade back. Is it 1:14? Holy smokes, y'all! Holy smokes, we gotta go. I gotta go get that cleaned up. I gotta go sort all that. You're gonna pop everything up until you run out of pop rivets, right? Once you start pop riveting, you'll never go back. Anyway, I hope today's chat about spindles and such, you know, if you never run across that, if you don't work on that kind of crap, sorry to waste your time today, but it's just one of those things. Hey, how are you? Yep. These are $3.75. Two? No, $3. Sorry. Pickup truck lid.
I locked out the other day. I got looking and found out. My pickup truck 18-wheeler. That's what you mean, eh?
Oh, the door on the 18-wheeler or the?
It's a Nation 2.
Oh, really? Okay, that is not right. 648.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Thank you. Have a good weekend. What Big Bang? I love Big Bang. I've watched all the Big Bangs. You want those keys riveted together? $15.95 key. Okay, so that was an 18-wheeler, y'all. It shouldn't have used. You're welcome. Saved your ears. Thank you. Thank you for that. I just realized that was incorrect. So that's what happens when you let just random people make keys, right? I didn't think much about it because I'd already cut the keys. I'm not gonna recall it, right? But I was like, truck lid, or something truck lid, cam locks. We're using these, you know, and it may be this key, but I started thinking about it. $15.95 is almost always going to be used for cam locks, the weatherproof style Stratec brand cam locks, which is why I said trunk lid and or toolbox, possibly, right? Then he said 18-wheeler. This is the key that he should have had, right? If you hold them up side by side, it's that B1 key. They're the same key. So it wasn't until he said ignition I was like, oh, bro, that's supposed to be RA4. But he uses a $15.95 because of some idiot that made him keys in the past. Peterbilt, yeah. As soon as he said ignition too, I was like, no, bro. Sorry to tell you, but so you're using the wrong key, man. I mean, it may work. I'm sure it works. It's literally the same key profile, but that $15.95 doesn't have a top shoulder, so it's kind of bad for locks to deal with when it's supposed to have a shoulder stop and it doesn't. It's not great. Not big deal. Not a big deal. Not enough for me to be like, I'm going to waste these blanks and just recut them the right way. Because you never know. It actually could have not worked. So, you never know. Anyway, it's that time of day, way past that time of day, to switch over to the disassemble screen. That's right. We're done with today's live. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in today. As always, without y'all, I would not be here and doing this. It's all because of y'all that I've been screwing around, wasting 2 hours of my life every Saturday. It's okay. I enjoy it. I hope you do too. And we did not have too many camera issues today, so knock on wood. I think it was all the action last week, right? Everybody was like, and honestly, I tried watching it, and it was so infuriating. I don't know how you people deal with me whenever we have camera issues. I know some of y'all are just like, get out of here, Jason, you suck. When I'm sitting there talking to myself and the camera's in the wrong thing, but I don't know. I can't help it. It just happens. Anyway, let's go shift over to this. Boom, boom. Hey, we're back on the big mic, and it is time to lock force disassemble. Worst time of day, worst time of weekend, but it is Memorial Day weekend, so I hope everybody has a great one, even if you don't celebrate. If you don't celebrate Memorial Day, all I gotta say is, we have Monday off and you don't. And I'm not coming up here Monday. And that just means next week will be even busier, because Monday it's going to turn into Tuesday, which makes Tuesday turn into Wednesday. And the next thing you know, you'll get your rug reference, Big Lebowski. That's one of those shows that I try to watch, but I never can really get through the whole thing. You're welcome. I knew I see with those tools, it's like I don't want to send people tools if I don't know what they have. Just like I have some trouble with giveaways, giving people stuff, because I don't want to give you crap that you're not going to use or whatever, but I'm glad to know that somebody can use it, so definitely. I've just been waiting for a home, and I finally found one, so thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to reduce that stock of stuff that I have, and I've been randomly throwing it in people's giveaways. Speaking of, just to brief y'all on that, we do have a mail out coming in. Everybody who gets packages, y'all have a list right here. We've got a whole list of people. Bear with me because it's just been busy, but it's getting to the point now. And with all y'all's likes and subscribes and everything, we are able to do the bigger giveaway. We've got one more batch of stickers that are due to arrive. So, Gerald, you won't get this latest sticker coming in because yours is actually going out. We won't be getting that to June 7th. But for the last 6 months, since our last Christmas giveaway, I was like, we're gonna do another mail out come midsummer. And I've been saying that randomly for the past few lives, and that's literally it's midsummer. And we've got enough little goodies to go out. We're actually going to be doing a larger number of international. So if you're international and you did not get a Christmas present, that was because we ran out of stuff. But now we know to order a large number of things. Now we've got plenty of stock, and what we're going to focus on first is going in and getting those internationals out first, and then we're going to do a mass domestic mail out. So hopefully before the end of the summer, that's counting like a month's travel time for some, overseas destinations. Hopefully everybody will have a little bit of new Locksmith bling, just to say thanks from us that y'all are still with us and still joining in on Saturday Morning Lives. I've had a fair number of people ask about if they're not able to join in on Saturday Morning Live, that they don't feel like they should be able to get some of the bling. But if you literally just take it upon yourself, if you watch our videos and you've been a subscriber for a while and you've never gotten bling, go sign up on the list and we'll add it to the list, because we do have a mail out coming up. If you're on the list and you know you're on the list, don't sign up again, of course. We've got some change. We've had people actually hard mailing us change of addresses. So we got to get that stupid list sorted out again, which, by the way, is stored. It's not shared with anybody. It's just Kim and I. We've had a few questions about somebody started getting phone calls, and I'm like, we don't even keep phone numbers, for one thing. So if you're getting spam phone calls from somebody, trust me, that's not from our end. That's just spam phone calls. Let's go ahead and pick up here and see what's going on. What's going on up there? I don't think you're coming in here, so I suggest you don't stay parked there, people. But anyway, I hope y'all have a great Memorial Day weekend. Thanks for tuning in, and thank you, Gumby. I appreciate that. You rock. Yay, Gumby. Thank you. Also, last week, again, I wanted to shout out everybody last week who donated to the cause. We went back and saw that. James, Nate G, Dana Reed, Night Owl, Hop Skibbity, Peter Fox, Gumby, Cranky Lockpicker, and Ken Nixon. And the first one, the Whittier Locksmith. Thank you all last week. I really appreciate y'all's support on that. That actually helps to fund the mail outs and the stickers and the other stuff that we got going out. So yeah, appreciate it, y'all. Y'all have a great weekend, and we always appreciate y'all. Oh, what do we count? Plus 6 minutes. Yeah, see, he locked. Like house or... Yeah, I'm here until probably about 3:30 today. All right, thanks. Bye. We're still live, bro.
Are you still talking to yourself?
We're still live, bro.
Are we still live?
Dang it, Wes in the house. Hey, dang it, Wes.
What's up?
I was just about to click off, and then somebody called.
I was listening in the car on the way up here.
Oh, you're like, he's still
All
live?
service. Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm still online, y'all. I thought we were done. We already disbanded and everything, and then Wes walks up in the house. Game over. Thank you, Night Owl. Appreciate that. Hey, Daniel Wes.
What's up?
You want to come over and say hey to everybody, or we being private today? You want to
No,
come
this
say?
is how to get me and you out of trouble with Miss Kim. What's up? Hey guys. Came to guard the parking spots. Now we won't get in trouble with Kim anymore.
Them Twinkies.
Yeah.
No, my pants
Almost.
are khakis.
Almost, yeah.
Well, your shoes are.
My shoes.
Well,
Yeah.
I like that.
That's right.
Everybody's calling for magic tricks.
Oh, I got a magic trick right here. Look at here.
Oh, shit.
Not really a magic trick, but how about that? You can show that off. A biker festival out there, I guess.
Is that a real $100 bill?
Huh? Yeah, and it was only $4.99. I'm going back next week to buy a truckload of them. It's my new investment strategy.
It's not real.
No, it's a plastic.
Yeah.
If it was real, we'd be in trouble.
I mean, it looks really close though. They
It does,
They
doesn't it?
did a. I bet this company actually on the side, the way they make their real
Probably.
money. We know how this company. We know how this company makes
Yeah.
their real money. Not selling $4.99 fake.
That's right.
If y'all look really close at that.
It's
How is this a magic trick?
it's a duplicate $100 bill made in China officially. So
If I wasn't so broke, I would have a $100 bill to compare it to. But okay, this is. I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
this is. I don't think this is on a $100 bill.
well, it's plastic too. So I mean, it's
24 karat gold.
that's right.
Is it really 24 karat gold?
No.
$4.99.
If it was for $4, we're going to buy more. Oh shoot!
I mean, yeah, it looks pretty real. From a distance, anyway.
Yeah, it does look real. It looks like a real $100 bill in gold.
How was
That's
that
yours.
magic trick? Oh.
No, I was gonna say that's
Give me
all I
cash.
got.
See?
That's all I got.
That's what it's all about, people. Give me cash.
yeah, that's right.
I can sell this for $4.99.
I missed out on Super Chat last week, so
$4.99.
I'm contributing.
Cool.
Pay for the hole in the wall.
That was on the old 100. It looks like a cross between the
It is
old
the
and
old, yeah.
like. Well, okay, yeah.
The new ones have the one.
Well, not
on the
real old
side.
because they shifted the face over.
Yeah.
Remember, they used to be center.
But on the back of the hundreds, on the right here on the sides,
Yeah.
now in big letters.
How many grams of gold is it?
Oh no, it's pretty heavy compared to a dollar bill, though.
Yeah, it is. That is heavy. But I mean, 24 karat gold plated. You can plate stuff pretty cheap, but then 24 karat gold plated like only like
Super
a very
thin.
minuscule amount of.
I don't think that's plated. That's not even plated.
You think they're lying about 24 karat gold?
Not something from China.
No,
Surely not.
I don't believe that. Made in China.
Yeah.
Tri-State Souvenir.com. Where did you get that?
In Dallas. Yeah.
A noob at the C-store might take it. Yeah, what's a $100 bill? I don't know what a $100 bill is.
Right.
Never seen one before. I like this shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The brand new shirt smell.
Yeah.
Unwashed.
The Chinese thread.
Yeah.
Or did you just wear it for like 3 days before you brought it to me?
No, yours is unworn, brand new. If you think I could fold a shirt up that nice.
Wes is here to play with the air cannon.
Uh-oh.
Not with graphite.
No,
though.
no. Not graphite.
I'm not allowed to.
I don't know if we're.
I'm not ever going to do that again.
I don't know if we should shoot locks again until we get
Honestly.
a better wall.
Honestly, we might have to take it all outside.
We can look at the air cannon. How about that? I don't know. There's more expensive stuff to hit outside than it is inside, probably. You ricocheted
we'd
hit one of
have
those
to-
cars.
Yeah, we definitely have to go in the field in the back.
Yeah.
I couldn't even go in my back parking lot because there's cameras that are not mine back there. So somebody be like, "Oh, I came back there shooting."
It's not even a real. They complain it's not a real gun, probably.
Yeah, I was out there spray painting it before it looked like a gun when I was spray painting it, and
Yeah.
our parking cop, who's actually a cop, but he doesn't. He's friends of mine, so he pulled up, and I was like, "I'm not graffitiing anything, sir," because I was spray painting on the curb.
Nice.
But anyway, we're way over time. It's 1:30, y'all. So Wes
Yep.
made it just in time to say bye.
See you guys.
And we're remember, with great stupidity comes very little responsibility.
That's
I
right.
think both of us wearing these shirts out there shooting something will be appropriate, right?
I think so.
Now, West
should be
doesn't drive a
covered.
Prius. Do you drive a Prius?
No, I do not drive a Prius.
Right now, there's a Jeep and that Prius with the
It
bikes
was in
on
your,
top.
yeah, it was in your parking spot when I came through.
Yeah.
With a pile of bikers down here on the corner.
Oh.
I don't know what they're doing.
So she was dropping somebody off, and then he pulled out. I guess felt bad about it. Now he's just sitting over there.
I think he's sitting there waiting for somebody to leave.
When you
Still
say a
somebody
pile of
else's
bikers, you mean like?
like 4 or 5 on the corner right here.
Well, it's a good day for biking, I
It
guess.
is. Yeah, it's nice outside.
Shorts weather.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna go shoot things, I guess. And no, I did not bruise my leg, by the way. It hurt, but it didn't bruise it. It only hit.
Where it hit.
Hit right there. So no bruise. Never had a bruise from it, but it more surprised me than anything. It more was like, shit, that could have hit me in the face. That could have popped back and hit me in the face if I wouldn't have been paying attention. So it just kind of weirded me out. But it hit pretty good. It could have bruised me.
That thing could be dangerous. Being in front of that.
And I do have, by the way, those of you who are like, oh my God, I can't believe Jason wasted his time with all of that. Literally, you'll see one day here soon. I actually have a reason for building regrets, and it wasn't for effing around. It wasn't for shooting graphite. It wasn't for doing this. I have reasons. You'll see it one day. But trust me, for those of you who thought that I was just being ridiculous, I'm not always ridiculous. Literally, there was a reason. Literally, there was a reason why I do things, and there's a reason for it. You'll see it one day. But honestly, it is a work tool. That's all I'm going to leave it at. Anyway, thanks again for watching, y'all. We'll catch y'all next video.